The pressure.
Alright, yeah, here we go.
I was fairly impressed with how he built the guitar. Really?
Mom, go over there and sing. So, Dad, we're about to start our road trip. This is my dad's neighborhood, and what's this, North Minneapolis?
North Minneapolis.
Oh, there's some.
Oh, they had
tornado
somebody
down.
on 22nd and DuPont shot the other night.
Yeah, I know.
Look at the red roofs and look at the boarded up windows, and you're in the middle of the where the tornado went through. Look at this apartment building.
So where are you hoping we get to today?
Oh, I hope we get down to Janesville, Wisconsin, or below.
That's what I told you, Nathan. Janesville.
So what was your philosophy earlier you talked about?
My philosophy is that I'm going to make a point of talking and seeing about people that are courteous and kind and telling people about it rather than all the people that make me mad because they cut me off or they swear at me or they do things I don't like.
What do you think, Mom?
That's a good point. Here's Broadway Liquor. Broadway Liquor Outlets. Right.
We're in the center of Wisconsin near the Foster Cheese House in the middle of the recall elections for Wisconsin today. The Democrats may take over control.
And what are we buying here?
We're buying cheese curds. These are the Castle Rock organic cheese curds that we just got at the Castle Rock Organic Dairy.
Okay, we're trying to find the Norsky Nook to have apple pie, but we found this really cool old building. We're completely lost. Okay, here we go, the Norsky Nook. So what town is this, Dad?
Osseo, Wisconsin, the Norsky Nook.
Yeah. How is it?
It's absolutely the most wonderful peach pie I think I've ever had at the Norsky Nook. Or anywhere.
And I'm having apple pie. It's better than Julian. Hi, Dad. So, where are we?
Hey, we're in Ho-Chunk in the Wisconsin Dells, the largest casino in the nation, the Ho-Chunk Nation. It's a place I stop at all the time between here and Florida. Usually I stay overnight, but tonight we're going to go a little further. And we're going to stay in Wisconsin so we can get the results of the election.
You know, what was the other thing? The gas.
Oh, and the gas was only $3.49. Can you believe?
So what are these other casinos you're always going to?
Oh, we go to Majestic Pines, we go to Mystic Lake, we go to Treasure Island, we go to Grand Casino, Black Bear. Most of them are in Minnesota, but some are in Wisconsin.
This is only slightly over the top. Go, Dad! What do we see over there?
We see the famous Janesville Guernsey.
I don't have zooming on here.
It's been here for years.
I'll have to take a picture. Here we go. Hi, Dad. Where are we?
We're coming to Joliet, Illinois, Highway 55. We're going to be in Indiana within an hour. And then we're going to eat it in Applebee's if we find one.
What do you think about the stock market going down 423 just now?
Oh, I think the stock market will probably drop down to 6,000 before it turns around, so I'm not surprised. This is the Michelle Obama Great Depression.
The Michelle Obama Great Depression?
Did you get it?
We're entering Indiana! Our first traffic jam. This is the famous Amish Acres, and
On Route 6 going through Indiana from Chicago to my home in Ohio. We stop here regularly for the wonderful shoe fly pie and dinners now and then. And they got the history of the Amish people, and it's just a very pleasant, beautiful little place. We're going to take shoe fly pies home for the reunion.
so how many times have you been here?
Oh, 4 or 5.
So we were discussing this. How many times do you think you've done this drive to Ohio?
Oh, probably 100.
At least. How many times have you done this specific route? The 94 to the 90 to the 39 to the 6?
Well, I haven't done the specific route, but if you turn around and take a picture, there's a horse and buggy.
Ah, where? Oh, here it comes.
2 horse and buggies.
There we go. I wish this thing had zooming capabilities. Anyways, just going past the Amish Acres sign. Next stop, Ohio.
Next stop. There it is.
Okay.
Did you get it?
Yeah. I think so. Cornfield.
Beanfield.
Okay, what were you going to tell the story about Mexico?
I was going to tell about not getting my head chopped off, but you want me to tell the story about renting a car and driving to Cabo San Lucas and getting a flat tire?
Yeah, tell Dave the story.
And
I think I've heard it.
I think he's
Oh, you
heard
have
it many times too. And lo and behold, we hit this rock and the tire went flat, and there were the federales. And they looked in our trunk and they did what they did, and they saw me trying to change the tire, and lo and behold, this young Mexican man came over, took the jack out of my hand, changed the tire, and refused a $20 tip. And it was just a very nice story. There are a lot of wonderful Mexicans.
Because everyone thinks they're so terrible.
We were warned how they will rob you blind, particularly the federales.
The other day we was on the deck out here and wasn't bothered at all, and I walked around over here. I had a tractor out here and went out there to get a pin or something. I walked into a cloud of them out here, and Jesus Christ, it was just, I don't know where they all come from. But we didn't have any all summer long. We got swallows out here in the barn that pretty well take care of them. And we got them this year, the swallows. God, them swallows are out there every day, swooping around the tractor when I'm mowing and eating bugs.
So did you have a good hay up?
Yeah, we got a good. We got so goddamn much hay. We got everything full, every wagon, every truck, and I got 2 fields to make a second cut, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So that's what we've been doing. We've been giving them that stuff. Joey says, well, it's time for their medicine. It takes him 10 minutes.
Oh, did you get the chickens?
They're out
Oh
there.
yeah, they're out there on grass.
How many you want?
These were the ones of the special breed or something?
Buckeyes.
Buckeyes? Oh, okay. Because when I was here in the spring, you were building the coop.
Yeah.
Well, they're in it now. They're out
We got them out there and got a pen outside that they can get out on grass, and then at night we pen them in. We damn near got any more here lately, but until I need a good coon hunter, and they ain't any anymore.
Joe had 6 hens up
Damn
there that
coon.
the coon got.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, coon's terrible around.
Does anybody hunt coon anymore?
Yeah, there's a few, but I don't know. It don't don't
They
seem
don't
like
pay
they
like
make
they
any.
did when Ned was.
Well, Dad never made any money off of it. He just had a lot of fun with it.
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
He made some off the dogs that he sold.
Well,
He'd get a quarter a pelt.
but
David said Grandpa was one of the wealthiest in the county or something, or what was he
His
saying?
farmers, I don't agree with David, but he was fine. He certainly was
but
not
I
poor.
think
We
I
weren't
think
poor.
he got a lot of money out of his hunting.
Yeah, he sold some, and then he sold them.
Well, he used to buy the furs and take them to New York.
Well, he dealt in furs at one time. Yeah.
He went to New York with the furs?
Towards the end, he would buy the hunters would come in. He'd buy the carcasses and skin them out. And
He'd ship them to some buyer in New York.
well, he took his truck and went up there a couple of times. I went with him up on 33rd Street or somewhere.
How you been feeling?
I've been feeling great, and that's supposed to last for 2 or 3 months, and then I'm supposed to start going downhill.
Thing. What were you asking, Dad?
I was asking where the Kirgises are from in Germany, and we don't know.
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
The Rossmans were from Darmstadt. That
But-
I knew. And I don't know when they came over from Germany. They came over, late 1800s. Grandpa was born 1903.
Well, Linda would know for sure.
Yeah.
But, so it's the Cobbs are the Mayflower ancestry. That's
Yes.
and the Cobbs were Grandpa's grandmother, was Ora? Okay. And then, where do the Heckarts come in? That's what confused me.
Grandma Cobb's mother was a Heckert. We got that
And she's
picture.
the one that's
We
the
got that
Mayflower
picture in the
connection, I
book.
think. I think
Okay.
the Heckarts is where it goes back.
I got the picture in the book of Grandma Cobb, which would be our great-grandmother, right? I was telling them I used to ride, you got this already, I used to ride my bike at least 4 nights a week over to Likens, and we'd play kick the can and hide and seek. And,
Well, when we go to Grandpa Jake's,
yeah.
we'd walk, Tux and us would walk in and get an ice cream cone there.
Yep.
But we always went into Miller's grocery. We never really went into Blend's much.
See, now when I grew up, well, Jim was in my class, and
Oh,
Ruth
so
was
you
my
went that
teacher,
way.
so we went that way. And then Al Coles bought it. He was the coach at Likens there.
Yeah.
And then Frankenfields bought it. And, yeah, that's an era that's gone.
What's the story again?
Oh, Janice and I won first prize at the Bloomville Halloween contest for making a costume of an old gold cigarette dancing pack. We were talking
Was
about
it
that the
Old
other
Gold
day.
or Philip Morris?
No, it was old gold.
Because Philip Morris, they used to do that. They'd have the Philip Morris pack, and then they'd have Johnny.
Yeah, no, this was a
They
little.
used to call for Philip Morris. You
Yes, I
remember?
remember that one. No, this was the one where they had the matchbook dancing pack. They used it to dance. Oh yes. The boys had to wear dresses, and the girls whatever they did, and we used to have to bring toothbrushes and scrub down the sidewalk, and then at night they would have a get together and make us put our hands in the liver and all that other stuff.
Hands and liver?
You know, they'd blindfold us and not tell us what it was.
So this was for high school initiation?
This was a high school
At
initiation.
buffet, you used to have that. And they'd have them do that down on the gym floor, and then in one corner they'd have some cow shit. They'd make them go around them.
That would make sense.
Where did you go to high school, Dad?
Up here, Bloomville.
Huh? Does Bloomville still have a high school? Is it?
No.
No.
Oh.
Well, it's been a couple of years now they tore it down.
And did Bloomville ever, at FFA, did they have pest hunts?
Oh, yeah.
I know we used to have.
Yeah, we used to pest hunt all over the place.
And you'd have to get somebody to bring in the tails and
Where's the pregnant one?
right here.
Oh. Hey, goatee.
Oh, this is a pregnant one right here.
Oh, you can. Oh, yeah. That's the pregnant one. There's the one on the tractor over here. John Schimpf, right? You're my dad's classmate.
Yeah, one of my dad's best friends in high school and going through school for many years.
Bus
First
riding.
bus ride.
So,
Remember our buses with you and I and Donnie Studer?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Three little ornery kids.
And birthday's 28. You got a birthday coming up.
Yes, we do.
28th, 29th, and 30th, right? Yours is the 29th.
Right, stayed there.
And it hasn't changed.
when's your next reunion? Do you guys have reunions?
Well, they meet once a month.
Really?
Yeah, we've been meeting once a month at Gus's in Bucyrus for breakfast at 8 o'clock. And so there's only 3, 4, 5 of us here, yeah. And the 3 widows and me and Jim Stein. And so we get together. The last time Corbell wasn't there.
Okay, does Helen ever come?
No, Helen never comes. But yeah, we always got along okay. I don't think we ever did get in a fist fight. My legs wouldn't let me, you know. I mean, I just run.
And I was a coward. I wasn't going to fight.
So, how many are left in the 13 in your class?
Well, there's 3 that have died, right?
Well, Bud and
Marlo, and is that it?
and who?
Just Bud and Marlo?
Yeah, just 2 in our class, but 3 or 4 of the girls have lost their husband now.
Okay.
Sherry lost her husband, Joanne lost hers, and Rita lost hers, and Corbell lost hers. So the girls got hit pretty hard. They've lost. In fact, the only one left would be, well, Barb. Barb Kaufman, her husband, is living, and her 4 boys or 5, whatever she had, and Helen Schiffer. She's, you know, Helen has an uncle who used to live up the road here, and he's 103, I think.
Oh, really?
Wow.
No, that's the number of the road.
Yeah.
103 that goes from Sycamore.
Yeah, I think Johnny's 103, but I'm not sure on that.
You
Is
guys-
Johnny Schiffer 103 years old? We're being recorded.
I think he will be,
Oops.
he'll be 103 in December.
This is John's wife, Wanda. Hi, Wanda. You're being recorded.
When there might mention.
Okay, Dad, where were you born, Tiffin or
I
Bucyrus?
was born in the hospital in Bucyrus.
Oh, and you're the first one in your family to
I'm
be...
the only one out of my family that was born in the hospital.
Okay. So where were Corinne and Maxine? They were born in the house?
They were born in the house up near North Robinson, I think.
Go ahead. Canoe trips you used to do?
Yeah.
Tell us about those. Where was it?
Well, they were in Mohegan State Park, right?
Yep.
And we used to go down and we would run a canoe and we'd go for 2 or 3 hours canoeing down the river.
And do you have any memorable ones?
Not really, I guess.
You didn't fish or anything? You didn't ever tip the canoe?
No, Linda went with us one time, didn't she? Yeah, I remember Linda went with us one time, and the water was really low, and we had to get out and drag the canoe, and Linda wouldn't get out, and I was a little bit irritated at her, and helped drag it. Or at least if she'd get out, there'd be less weight in it to drag.
You talked about tip a canoe. Do you remember tip a canoe and Tyler too?
Yeah, I remember the phrase, yeah. I don't think we ever tipped the canoe.
No, we never tipped. See the slate roof, Nathan?
Yeah.
At the time, and I said, "Hey, Dad, why don't you go in with me?" And he wouldn't do it. I talked to the bank, and they said, "We'll back you. If you want to buy it, we'll give you the loan." If I'd have bought that, it went for 1.3 million. Probably worth 6 million. Wow. That was 10 years. That means I'd be in my pocket. I could just turn around. You know, the price of corn was $1.60 when I bought this. It's $7.20 today. Wow. And you can Keep them in the barn and just feed them grain, so they get bigger and juicier meat. So if they let them roam around and eat grass, they're not nearly as tender and they don't get as big as fast.
Do you eat lamb?
No.
Did your family ever have lamb?
Well, never's a tough word, but very rarely did we
Yeah,
eat it. I think I've had it 2 or 3 times at a friend's house.
Hi, Nathan.
So why don't they eat lamb? That's actually a good
That's a
question.
good question. You never did?
We never had lamb.
No.
We've made it occasionally. I don't know that we.
Lamb is very good.
I don't know that we like it as much as
You
beef.
remember
but
the
we
time
made it
that
on
the
occasion.
cat
It's
Fluffy,
expensive.
we gave the cat a lamb chop and the cat was choking on the bone. We had to bring her into the vet. We brought her to the
It's more of an
emergency room and
upscale
the nurse
meal, I think,
was
lamb
able to
chops.
take the bone out and we didn't have to pay anything.
Oh, I missed that.
I don't remember this.
That was when we lived
Let's go
in
find
St.
some
Paul.
shade and let's look at this barn.
We just
Yeah, she does look like Grandma.
Oh my, I haven't seen you for a long time. How you doing?
I was fine.
Jeff. Jeff. Hey, Shirley. Nathan.
I'm
Such an original person.
That's a compliment. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Good to see you, bud. Hey, Lyle.
He's getting pictures. How you doing?
Don't look at me.
Okay. I want to see you run.
No. even just going up steps.
I'm Renee.
7 days out of the cast.
Why were you
Well, the dog and I both decided to go down the steps, and I swerved to avoid the dog, and just did 2 little steps. And I went off the steps.
You broke your ankle?
It's actually the leg bone at the ankle.
The figure?
The fibula,
Yeah.
The figure.
Yeah, right where it belongs.
Oh, okay. So he was that little.
These are Jeff and Renee's kids.
Dave's
David
his
and
back.
David.
I bet.
That's my husband, Randy. I guess you met Randy.
Yes, yes.
And Shirley.
Oh, yes.
And it was one great fun. You know what I remember? A wonderful photograph of Patty.
That was 5.
A delightful, no, you were a baby. A delightful baby picture of Patty.
Oh, the baby pit, yeah.
A delightful baby picture, and this was not one that was on a frame. It was a collection of pictures. And all over the picture stamped, proof.
So where'd you go first, to Corinne's?
Yeah.
In order.
Corinne, Maxine, Shirley?
Yeah, no.
So what was it like meeting them the first time?
Was that the protocol? You had to go in order?
I don't know, that's how it was.
That's what Grandma decided.
Oh, okay.
Were you nervous?
Around too. Priscilla, remember I... The pressure's on.
The pressure's on.
Alright, yeah, here we go.
I was fairly impressed with how he built the guitar. It's like, really?
Mom, go over there and sing. Okay, where are we here, Dad?
This is the Baseline Church where I was confirmed. This is the new church. The old church was across the way. I was the youth fellowship president and very active in the chorister for the Sunday school.
You were the first one confirmed,
I
right?
was the first one confirmed in this building.
Ah.
And it was a pretty good sized church then. We had about 180 people, but I guess they're down quite a bit in population. Yes, this is the tombstone and the grave of my sister's infant child who died at childbirth back in 1952.
Did she have a name? Because it doesn't show a name.
There was never a name.
Oh.
It was the infant son. This is the cemetery where lots of my friends have been buried.
Hey Jeff, what's your favorite memory of the farm?
The old Rossman farm.
Yeah.
All the games we used to play in the yard, running around the yard.
Remember Lookout? That was fun.
Yeah. And then all the reunions.
Yeah.
And the Christmases that we'd come here. And many people would come.
And the horses.
20 to 60. And I remember the horses when I was really young. We had Tony the pony. I don't know that I remember any of the other horses. There was dogs.
Everywhere.
Scores of dogs in the back. Not friendly dogs.
Remember when one would get
dogs.
Remember when one would get loose?
Ever warned, don't go anywhere near them. And every now and then one would get loose and come walking through the yard, dragging its chain, and we'd run in terror.
A car is coming out.
Jeff. What a Jeff story
Okay.
Yeah.
here that he usually
Grandma always had Beeman's gum in a drawer.
I remember that.
And we always got yelled at every time we took a piece of Beeman's gum out of the drawer, but there was always plenty of gum in there.
But that was worse when
we always went and got it whenever we wanted.
But it was worse. What do you remember about the farm?
It's a very relaxing place to be. That's it.
Just relaxing.
Yes.
What's your first memory of coming into the farm?
Can't remember. But the dog's barking, I guess. Or it could be from using the
Well, now their phones.
What's the story with the operator?
Gertie, the operator, lived here, and it was in her house, and she had the switchboard, and we never would call after 9 o'clock because you woke her up. But one time I called from college and I said, gee, could I talk to my mother? She says, you know, I just saw her drive up the road. I'll bet she's at Green's. Let me call Corrine's. That was the type of service we had back then.
What was that? Where are we, Dad?
We're at the cemetery where my parents are buried.
This is Grandma Rossman, Grandma, Grandpa Rossman's.
Yeah.
Where are the other ones? Who's Donald Rossman?
Well,
Oh, that's Dutch and Ellie. Dutch and Ellie.
Dutch and Ellie, the Dad's brothers. And that's Dutch's son, Elwood. And here's Bud and Uncle Bud. Where the Grandpa and Grandpa are buried, though?
Who is Uncle Bud?
We found it last time.
He's the oldest of Dad's brothers.
Oh, okay.
So Elwood died before Dutch.
Uncle
Could
Bud
be.
died. Oh, Edmund. Uncle Bud is not Edmund. Where's Bud?
Yeah, that would,
I recognized him.
Hi, Donna, my kid.
How are you?
I'm Jeff Rossman.
Covered the entire area going down to the daughter. Yeah, they said it didn't go to but she was on 3 IV antibiotics and it was
Okay. Not college or anything else. Oh, really? So, been a while. Hi, Uncle Don. Oh, good. Hi, Jeff.
Almost. Better. Nice. Woohoo!
Watch, here, give me the camera and watch the little pig. Make sure you're still in the water. Oh.
Yeah, you better watch Uncle Randy.
Yeah, make sure you're interested out of the water.
They're just like husband and
And we had two of them here with us.
seen you. There's brown eyes. And then was the second one probably, yeah. And now you're married. That's my husband, Brad. We're back here. Should. Seriously, I mean. But you know what I'm talking about. I don't like them. I find them disturbing. Oh, I think we did too. I do this a lot. See, I don't like daycares, and yet I run one. I don't like this one. Like the whole daycare where I have two when they visited 10 and a total of 5 instead of like 20, or this one where there's that is when he was. You can have a total of 5. But was I alone? Yes. Yes. That's a lot of less. I'm gonna be 50. Well, then you Chloe gets kindergarten.
I would have been a junior in high school.
Or not in the park. Like they were report on like are they gonna have my husband's just a this whole family does. Blue eyes right here. This is Hi, Nathan.
Hi, I'm filming, I'm sorry.
Youngest daughter. See, I don't even know. I know Hong Kong is like, can't really hear my dad.
Yeah.
They're figuring out that.
Yeah.
Well, they can. Some people can. First time.
Shirley's in the house.
They had a little accident today.
Oh, you didn't hear about it?
You mean an auto accident? Yeah.
Don't feel.
And you have to be pretty surprised.
Grandpa?
Yeah? Well, they hadn't heard the story about Dave and Terry and the plow that Grandpa stuck in the tree. It's still there.
Well, I know it was in the tree. I don't know.
Yeah. David and Terry were fussing, and Grandpa picked it up and stuck it in the tree.
So Jeff, you already told them about the guy that said asked about the plow in the tree? Okay.
I now know the truth.
Yep.
That's so funny.
Dave and Terry.
I want to go back over there and tell the guy. You can't hide anything. It was so funny. He's like, do you know how that plow got in the tree? Because we stopped by the farmhouse today. And we're standing out at the end of the driveway, suspiciously. You know, so then the guy's like, who the hell are you?
And why are you taking pictures of my house?
Yeah, we're trying to get some dirt on you. Anyway, like, you know, so. Did he let you come up and take a photo? So Uncle Lyle was there, and we didn't take a look, and we didn't ask, and he might have. Uncle Lyle was there, and he said, well, I grew up here, and then they talked for a minute or two, and I don't know, and we didn't really feel that comfortable. And
Then he asked about the plow in the tree, and
he did ask.
we all looked like, what?
Up in the tree? Oh, the man that lived there.
Yeah,
he wants to know.
Grandpa.
That's the plow where that pot of money is buried.
Why?
Whoa, don't
Go
fall.
Bearcat. Why you live with her?
Tell them that's where Mom and Dad live.
Yeah, that's where Mom and Dad live. Who's back there?
He's taking a picture of you guys.
He's filming. All right.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, have fun at the reunion, Dave. Mom's heading to Detroit for the...
Oh, yeah.
What is it in Detroit, a recital?
It's an airport.
Where are you going in Vermont?
not a Sonatina. In old Bennington.
Say goodbye to each
going.
other.
Green
going.
mountains, or wherever you go. Green lawns. Green, well, I don't know if they recycle or not.
You know who you remind me of?
Huh?
Nathan, you remind me of Lyle Ransom. He always used to take pictures all the time. Remember that,
Really?
Lyle?
Yeah, but he didn't have one of these.
This is a video. Hey, Mom, what was your first memory of Dad?
What was it, a dorm party in Rookery? Were you in Rookery?
Yep.
Yeah, our dorm got invited to a party at Rookery, and I met Lyle then.
Rookery what? Which
Rookery
Rookery?
was the name of the men's dorm.
At what college?
Antioch College. It was in South Hall, and I think we were in North Hall.
So you met at a party?
We met at a party, yes.
What was your first conversation?
Oh, Lyle talked about how he lived on a farm and had a girlfriend named Lois Eink. What was her? Auk?
Lois Auk.
Auk. And had the feeling he wasn't sure he wanted to stay at college. That was about it.
Huh, were you attracted to him?
Oh, on some level.
It wasn't love at first sight?
I don't think so. We didn't really get together for several years.
And Dad, what was your first memory of Mom?
I think we were at the same party, and she wanted to know if we had cows on the farm.
Did you think she was pretty?
I thought she was very pretty. She was probably the first Jewish person I ever met.
Did she tell you that right away?
Well, I don't know.
You knew she was Jewish?
Antioch had lots of Jews, and she was from New York. Probably did. She had a bicycle with a strawberry-covered seat. Remember that, Linda? She used to ride around campus.
Okay, Mom, tell me about your wedding to Dad.
Oh my God. We were living in Cattaraugus, and we drove to Syracuse, where I had an old roommate. We surprised the roommate and her husband and said we wanted them to stand up with us.
Jenny Little and
Pat, yeah. And your dad had laryngitis. We found an ancient justice of the peace in Camillus, New York. And when he asked Lyle if he wanted to marry me, he said, I do will.
I do will.
Yeah.
Is that because of the laryngitis?
Then we ate out after.
well, we had the William Tell Overture as our music
Oh, I don't remember that.
because his daughter was in the next room watching The Lone Ranger.
And then what was the party like? Was that the next? Wasn't there a party at the Forest Law Inn or?
Oh, that was a month later.
It was New Year's night.
It was New Year's night. My parents had arranged a reception party at the Forest Hills Inn. And that was very nice. They had a lot of their friends. We didn't have any of our friends. Or did we have any of our friends?
No, Mom couldn't come because it was too cold. But all these people kept stuffing checks in my pocket.
I don't remember that.
Oh, I do.
Is that a Jewish thing?
I don't know.
I never heard of that before. I think that happens everywhere.
Did they pick you up on shares or any of that stuff?
No, this was the reception. Well, I guess they do that at reception.
In 0.6 miles, turn left.
About our wedding, it was after the wedding and the dinner, we drove the next night to Niagara Falls, didn't we?
Maybe.
We had
On the
a
way
honeymoon
back?
in Niagara Falls.
Yes.
How was that?
It was always nicer from the Canadian side, too. Well, we would go to Niagara Falls every couple of weeks just to see it.
So when did Dad bring you back to the farm after you were married?
Probably for Christmas.
So how many months later was that?
3 weeks.
3 weeks later. And that's where you were introduced to the three sisters?
Oh, no, that was before we were married.
Oh.
That was in the winter of our senior year.
So there's pictures from that first Christmas, aren't there?
Probably. Well, I don't know where they are.
Anything else you want to add about your wedding or meeting Linda? Dad.
Yeah. We had a wonderful honeymoon. We drove from Ohio down to New Orleans and across. Remember what's his face in Washington, D.C. that we picked up, the blind guy, tall guy? What was his name?
Ralph Javins?
Ralph Javins, yes.
Did he come with us? Did he come with us to the reception?
I think so. They came with us to New York.
Wait.
I just thought those people looked real, like they lived in another country, where the truth of the matter was I lived in the other.
Who are these people?
People coming out of the movie theater. Was it Philadelphia, Mississippi?
She was a ticket taker at the movie theater, and they lived on a farm in rural Mississippi. They had a passel of kids.
Who's this? Lois?
Lois, I don't know her married name. It used to be Lois Curtis.
Oh, so it's a relative of yours.
Yes.
She's still living?
Oh.
Take care.
Bye, Mom. You don't mind if I film you guys, do you?
Oh my goodness!
No, you don't remember that.
No, that was a little before my time, I think. Really? That was interesting.
It would all come in, and then they had the carnival.
Yeah.
They used to
Block the street. Oh, that I do remember. That I do remember. I was little.
Well, you don't remember the movie theater.
No, see, I was born in 58, so.
Okay, it was probably before that. That's about the time I left.
Jeez, that's interesting.
No, it was a real social hub.
Yeah.
Life changes. I knew about it. But, oh, there was the drugstore.
See you, Rick. Thank you.
There was Claire's clothing store.
Yes.
And who owned the dry goods store? Claire's?
Gerhard?
Gerhard, yes.
Yep.
She was a sister of my third grade teacher, Mrs. Glenn.
Drugstore, Carl Mitchner. Oh, man. Yeah, I remember those. I remember them.
And the pool hall.
Oh, yes.
My dad lived in the pool hall.
Yes, that was upstairs, and the old library used to be one little tiny room.
Yep. I'm going down memory lane.
It's fun. I like to remember what the town used to be, you know? Look at it now, it's kind of depressing. But, yeah.
Maybe there are some things that are better than. I went to Florida in 1954. The first time I ever saw colored and white bathrooms.
Really?
And we used to have little notes in the paper of somebody who would be lynched now and then.
Oh my goodness.
And you may remember when a Catholic married a Protestant, that was the end of the world. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh,
But, oh boy, that would have been too.
one family or the other wouldn't speak to them.
Oh yes.
That was almost by definition.
Oh yes.
And so we almost had a woman president. Maybe we still have a woman president. We have an African Caucasian president. Who would have ever dreamt
We would have had one of those.
that it would happen? It's the games.
Yeah, give us time.
But I still miss the old.
Yeah.
The old companion. My cousin and I won the Halloween contest for the best costume back probably about 48, 49, 50. They used to have it up at Bloomville every night. Yeah, when the schools left in these little towns, they really took a chunk out, didn't it?
Yeah.
So what's the deal with the store? It's closing?
Well, the store is closing at the end of the month. It was open, I don't forget she said how many years, but it's been a long time, since 1948.
Get really close because this truck's
It's the last big grocery store in town.
Was it called the Bloomville Market? Is it Pagnard's or something?
It was Pagnard's, and upstairs they had a roller rink and a square dance.
This is where you did the roller skating. This is downtown Bloomville, right?
Yep, that's downtown Bloomville.
Of course, a truck's going by just now.
left.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
That's the only thing on this side of Tiffin, you know, if you either have to go clear out to the far corner, or there's a filling station over there where you can get milk, well, on 100 and 19.
Well, there's the Maui, Rosier's?
Rosier's, yeah.
Yeah.
On 53, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's halfway across town too.
Now you gotta go to Walmart.
little businesses have just disappeared.
Yeah, they can't compete.
Walmart's so big, we hate walking around.
Oh, I know, it's like how many football fields? It's gigantic. He needed a tube of toothpaste, it took like 45 minutes.
Is big enough.
Yes, until you get your groceries, you're worn out.
Well, it's kind of sad to see Bloomville and Lycans, and remember how every Wednesday night, the stores would be open and everybody would come in and would sit on the stoop and the kids would run around.
Not just in Ohio, that's all over the country.
That's over the world.
Kansas,
It was
no places to
Saturday night,
work.
I
You know, those towns just disappear.
In the old hotel, the kids would go in there.
And they had the movie screen over the street, and we'd all go watch movies.
Once in a while, the band concerts.
Yes, and the carnival.
The Saturday night, Bloomville was always a kind of a bustling place, you know, everybody coming into town on Saturday night.
Farmers came in.
And it wasn't just to go shopping, it was the social.
Yeah, that was
social center.
Except for church, that was your social life.
Yeah. Well, the schools snuck in there once in a while.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's when the town really started to go.
When they, that happened to Lycans.
They just shrink.
You should have seen our
Once the
basketball
school's gone,
court, it was
everything's
sunken
gone.
down. The people were up above and looked down at the games. It was different. I don't think there's any other type
Well,
of
yours
school
wasn't
around.
quite as bad as Melmore's.
Oh, I've never been in there as a kid.
There were a lot of them like that at that time, yeah.
Melmore was really, really tiny.
Yeah, it was the newer ones that were built on a level, with no different seats.
Okay.
Well, he moved you one time, didn't he, up there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. He had everything loaded up. It looked like twice he moved us with the pickup truck.
Yeah.
It's absolutely the most wonderful peach pie I think I've ever had at the Norsky Nook or anywhere.
The other day we was on the deck out here and
Hey Jeff, how you doing? Good to see you, bud.
The pressure's on.
The pressure's on.
Alright, yeah, here we go.
I recognize Tim.
Hi, Don. Hi, Ted.
You have to be pretty surprised.
Grandpa?
Yeah? Well, they hadn't heard the story about Dave and Terry and the plow that Grandpa stuck in the tree. Oh,
Yeah, we better watch Uncle Randy.
He's taking a picture of you guys.
He's filming.
It's on your.
Are they going to have my husband on? Just a couple. His whole family does. Blue eyes right.
The Saturday night, Bloomville was always a kind of a bustling place, you know, everybody coming into town on Saturday night.
Farmers came in.
And it wasn't just to go shopping, it was the social.
Yeah, that was.
They're just like husband and brother.
And we had two of them here with us.
You can be in the film.
The price of corn was $1.60 when I bought this. It's $7.20 today.
Wow.
And you can,